Welcome back to the channel, guys. Hope you guys have been well. Today we are going to be installing a set of these Baja Designs onto my GX. Now we are going to use them as chase lights, but not these in particular. We're going to be using these guys right here, the S1 pods. These will be used as the actual chase lights, and I'll replace these with the S2s to really help with the nighttime driving conditions. And then where I'm going to mount these guys is in the back of my Prinsu Pro roof rack right back here. So one will go here, and then one will go back right over here. So what I haven't figured out is where I want to mount the pods. Either down here on the back of this guy or on top of the crossbar. I do have a 270 awning, and so I may not want to put them right here just because it might come into contact. And then I may not want to put it on top just because I do park my GX in the garage and I've already have limited space when I enter the garage, so I may not want to put it up here. So I think the best logical solution is down here. So stay tuned. And then coming back over to the table here, what I've already have set out for us are wire loom for the wires, extra wires here to make a new wire connection. Baja Designs do provide a bundle of wires here, but they aren't long enough, so we won't be using these. We're making our own set of new wires with this, along with these hardware here, and then what they provide us here too as well for the mounting brackets for the pods. And then we will be using these extra connectors that they do provide you. We'll be using to connect to the pods using the new set of wires here. And then I will be using these tools here, my power tool here, and then wire crimpers, wrench, ratchet, plier, and also my cutting tool. Now I am going to use a set of wires from this bundle here that we're not going to use onto the GX, and so we're going to slice this up, get one of these wires here out, and I'm going to use one of this guy here for a connection for the pods. Okay, so I've got the wire all set up over here. They're all secured onto the rail of the roof rack. I was going to run the wires along the window trim of the windshield here, but I've heard stories about people pulling these off and breaking tabs on these, so I don't want to go that route. So instead, what I'm going to do is I've already ordered this KC HiLiTES universal wire hider. Here's some good things about this. I'm going to basically put this right over here on the windshield along with the wire loom and put this all together on the windshield and see how it goes. Okay, so out of the box you get the instructions of how to install this, alcohol prep to clean the windshield off, the adhesive strips that comes with it. You do have to apply them onto the actual strip itself, but it does say that it hides up to 8mm as far as inside the actual hider goes. And so we'll go ahead and get this going and then cut to length and then get this install wrapped up. I did measure the hider to my windshield and I've already made a little slit there for that. And I'm gonna go ahead and install the adhesive to this. Pretty easy to put on, not that difficult. Kind of wish they already had put this on beforehand to make it a little easier for you during install, but that's okay. All a part of the experience to say that yes, I've done it. Yes, I know what's needed. But yeah, it has these little grooves so you can line up the adhesive onto the wire hider itself. So nothing too difficult. Okay, so I did use up all 3 of the provided adhesive strips. I'm gonna go ahead and make a cut for the axis right there. Cut that off. Okay. And that pretty much wraps it up. Now it's just about putting it back onto the GX. Go ahead and keep this as flush as we can against the window trim to make it look as OEM as possible. I'm gonna take off this trim piece here on the bottom of the cowl. And then 30 seconds, right? And of course with the power of editing, 30 seconds will go just like that. 30 seconds has passed on by. Well, more like 5 minutes or so, but I did went ahead and I applied 30 seconds by hand on each part of the trim to allow it to fully secure and bond to the windshield. And we're gonna go ahead and see how this guy hides the wire loom here. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and make some modifications here. The wire loom doesn't seem to want to fit or play nicely with the wire hider. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this part of the actual wire loom and just hide the wires behind the hider itself. Okay, and we are all done. I think it looks pretty cool, nice and tucked in. Still gotta put in that cowl piece, trim piece back on, which I'll do in a moment, but let's see what it looks like on the inside. Make sure that it doesn't really obstruct any of my view, driving view, but there it is. You can kind of see it, but on a driving perspective, you really can't, well, it's not noticeable, even though it's just right there. Nothing too biggie. So just want to show you guys what it looks like on the inside from the cockpit. Trim pieces back on to complete the install. I did make another small incision right here just to make it kind of shape out with the trim piece here. It just basically clips onto part of the fender here and just holds it in place. But it's all complete. I think it looks really slick. Keeps things looking OEM without making it look too obnoxious. Here's a little side profile. You really can't notice it or too much. But I'm really happy with the product. Thanks to KC Lights for making this product. I do know they do make other alternatives like it, but I wanted to stick to a brand name that I can trust, as opposed to something just off of random Amazon site that hit or miss. But everything I'm using, whether it's the wire hider, the S2s, the S1s, the pods over there, hardware, whatever I've used in this video, I will link it down in the description. I am gonna go ahead and zip tie this wire loom here with this guy right here. Okay, that's it there. And we'll get the dikes and then we'll cut this guy off. So there's that. And then here's my control box to my switch panel. We can take this guy here off, and that'll expose the wires here. And I believe we're gonna be using this terminal here. So this will be the spot that I'll be putting the chase lights onto. I do have a bit of excess wires, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to snip it here, cut this off, get my wire stripper. I'm going to go ahead and cut off these insulations, and I'll be using this to screw it back onto the control box here. Alright, so this is done. Let's move that. Go ahead and grab my Phillips forehead. Negative goes to negative, positive goes to positive. So So negative first, since that's closest to us. And we'll go ahead and secure this guy in there. And then here's the positive. And then secure that guy there too as well. And we're done. We'll put the control box cover back on. So just like so. And before I go putting everything back on, we want to go ahead and test it out first and make sure that it turns on. So let's see. Okay, just enough to be on. And then here's the switch panel. Here's the rear. So that's already on, and let's go and take a look and see if it's on. Oh, it looks like we have chase lights on. Cool. That was pretty simple. Yeah, what do you guys think? I think it's pretty cool. If you don't have a switch panel like this, what you can do is you can use the provided switch that Baja Designs does give you, which is this guy right here. So it has the bundle here. It has their switch here you can use, and you can toggle between that to use it for your chase lights. Or if you want to keep it looking more OEM, I have this setup here. This was for my rock lights, and I do have them, but you can use this exact same setup for your chase lights. So giving you guys some options, you can use either that if you don't have a switch panel, or you can use the provided switch from Baja Designs. So what's cool about the switch panel that I have is you can actually use the app that it comes with. And let's go ahead and turn this guy on. Actually, not turn it off. Turn it back on. Off. On. And I can select the modes that it's in too, which is kind of cool. So if I wanted to do a pulsating, there's that. And then you guys can see they're pulsating. And I can control the amount of pulsating it does just by the app. Pretty cool. Here are the chase lights. What do you guys think? Yay or nay? I think it's cool. But they are on there. Oh, and then forgot to show you guys the S2s are mounted onto the bumper right there. It definitely helps fill that void between the actual bumper on Lil B's hybrid bumper. I think it looks slick, much better. What do you guys think? So after some back and forth on where I wanted to position the pods, I was able to get them to work in the original spot. Because at first when I had put them on, they were just hitting the spoiler, and I didn't think about just pushing them all the way back to the rail here. And now they're sitting up nice and flush. I think it's a much better position, more seamless with the rack, and it just looks nicer with it. But let me know what you guys think in the comments, and don't forget guys, make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.